Hello guys, welcome to the channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk about a really hot topic in the recent year that people were talking about called agents. ChatGPT gave out a new model, basically a new feature or service, anything you can called ChatGPT agents. So what it does is that it gets a prompt from you and it tries to have an understanding of your prompt and do what you want. For example, uh, you give it the prompt, book a flight from London to Paris. What it does is that it tries to, understand what you want, which is going from London to Paris. It tries to think that you probably want the cheapest flight. So it goes to the flight booking website and then it tries to search for the flight from London to Paris, and then what it does is that it chooses the least priced flight for you or the cheapest flight for you, so you can travel from London to Paris. But one thing which is for sure is that maybe you want first class, so you can give that detail to the prompt that you want to ChatGPT, and you can make it more specific that what you want is, first class flight from London to Paris because you want it, right? Or basically, if you, for example, have talked to ChatGPT about flights and that you are, a very rich person and you want most of the time first class flights from, place to place, ChatGPT maybe learns that when it's searching for a flight, it should definitely search for first class instead of the cheapest or economy class flights. The problem with these agents is that you always have to tell them what you want, right? You have to give them prompts, you have to talk to them, and you can't leave them on their own. They're basically another person, out there that you try to, make them understand what you want, and you are outsourcing your job to them, and basically they are trying to have an understanding of what you want. They're basically freelancers that you're giving projects to them, right? So they aren't watching you, they aren't learning from you, they are just trying to understand what you want, and they're trying to deliver what they think you understand, what they think that you want, right? So the problem with this is basically they aren't trying to replicate you, they're just trying to understand you. This is the first problem. The second problem is that all of your data is actually getting stored in ChatGPT servers. So I don't know if you know, but in the last month or in the last 2 months, there has been a RAM shortage. And the RAM shortage is due to the fact that all of these AI data centers are pre-ordering VRAM for their TPUs and GPUs, and the RAM manufacturers are basically shutting down their manufacturing lines to change, the target for manufacturing from consumer RAMs to VRAMs for GPUs. So we are moving, in a position that building, computing devices or computing, computers for us is getting just more difficult day by day. And AI data centers want that. They want you to, instead of using your own computer, instead of trying to build a computation device for yourself, use them instead, and pay as you go. Pay as you go is a plan that you basically, most of these software as a service companies have, that you pay them as much as you use their service. So ChatGPT, GEMINI, bunch of other AI companies, what they want is us to have devices that definitely don't compute that much, and what they want is them having our data. This is what they want. And the problem with that is that our data is our data, not theirs, and they aren't paying us for the data that they're getting from us. We are even paying for, to use their service. And what if, their service gets hacked? You know, what if they try to uh, sell our data to the people, the third parties that we don't want them to have our data? For example, some type of organizations that basically may interfere with our daily lives. In any place, you can just find those organizations yourself. So what we want is we want to have a model that replicates us or tries to replicate us, and we want all the data in our own computers. That's why we designed an extension called Boardim, which actually aims to do that. Let me show you. So this is the extension that we published on Google Chrome extension store or something. I don't know what is the exact term for that, but Chrome store, I think, is the term. We published it on there. I am the AI developer of it. Me and my friend built it basically. So and he published it. Me and my friends, and so this extension tries to replicate what you do. Let me show you how. For example, um, let me first give you a glimpse of what it is exactly in the face of it. It has a setting button which, if you press, you can. It basically shows predictions on what you probably are gonna do on a certain web page. And it has an auto approve prediction button, toggle button, which if you turn on, it auto approves all the predictions all the suggestions that it's giving you. And it at the same time, or and on the other hand, actually auto reject predictions that it's giving you if you, for example, don't accept it in a certain time. Let me press it for once. Or if it, if the confidence for that prediction is below a certain level. Let me turn it off for now. And in the main face of the extension, there is a prediction on and off toggle button, which if you press prediction on, it basically gives you prediction as you're doing certain things or doing anything on, any web page that you allow it to. And if you turn it off, you can make it not interfere with what you're doing, or if you're trying to save a new session that basically may have some triggers for other sessions that you previously saved, you want to turn it off because you don't want it to interfere with you saving a new session. So if you press the start session, it basically starts recording what you do on your own computer. If you press train model, it basically trains, the model that tries to replicate you, the AI model, which is a combination of few different models that I designed all of them from, the bottom up. And, it trains the model on all of the data that it previously has been recorded on your device. And if you press reset all data, it basically deletes everything you have, including the model that you trained until now. And it gives you, zeroed basically a blank extension if you want to teach it new things. So let me show you the example. If I go to Google Calculator, I just want to show you a very simple sequence of actions that I want to do on a calculator. For example, let me first reset all the data. If I press the start session, I basically can, for example, do a certain thing. For example, I can say 1 plus 5 equals 6. If I press save session, right, I can press train model right away. I can record a bunch of new other sessions. So I press train model. So it's not training. It is training on GPU abstractor. So if you have a very powerful GPU, it may train faster. But it basically depends on the configuration of your computer. And we are developing it in a way that it basically will be a lot faster than what it is now. So if I reset everything that I just did on this web page, or we can just reset the whole web page. Um, the predictions on is now on, right? The button for predictions, seeing predictions is on, which means if I do things on this web page, I will see the prediction that the model is giving me. So if I press the start session, it starts seeing my data, recording my data, and giving me predictions. So I press the start session. If I press 1, it basically says the next thing you're gonna press is, for example, plus. So I press plus. It says, for example, the next thing you're gonna press is, for example, equal, which is not true, right? It was 3, I think, or 6. It was 6, I think. And it says the next thing is then equal. And I say, okay, it's equal. And the return is actually, the token that says that a sequence that you just did, is finished. So you can play with it. You can do certain things with it. You can go to forms and fill out the form and see if the next time you fill out a similar form or that form, it tries to basically tell you what it is, what are you going to put on that form, and it's going to predict the things that you're going to put on that form. What I want you to do is, if possible, I really appreciate it, because I'm building it with my friends and we're just 3 people, right? We're not a very big company. I really appreciate it if you use it and give me feedback on what you think is wrong with it, what are the bugs, and what exactly we should do to make it more useful for you, right? For your use case. Or you can give me email. I'll put my email down in the description, and I'd really be appreciating your comments, and we'll be definitely reciprocating whatever you tell us. If that actually leads to any improvement, we'll definitely be very happy, even if it doesn't really lead to any improvement. So thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to use it and give us a feedback. Bye.